This liquid-cooled 799cc inline-4 is basically the half-fared twin-headlight cousin to Yamaha's slightly sportier, totally naked all-rounder, the FZ8. At the heart of the Fazer 8 is a super-smooth, fuel-injected block that utilizes a pile of components found on its big brother, the FZ1. Designed from the ground up to elevate this category from its previous incarnation benchmarked by the FZ6, this bike's been tuned for more low-end and mid-range torque. Meanwhile, in the chassis department, the gravity cast aluminum frame is again FZ1 spec, while the 43mm inverted fork sporting dual 310 floating discs with 4-piston monoblock calipers may not be the absolute ultra-trick race-ready gear, but they certainly look the part and do a terrific job in the stopping department. All in all, the Fazer 8 was designed to take the average rider from daily commutes to longer overnight weekenders, while the integrated passenger grab rails can easily take a rider from solo piloting to two-up fun. But as always, you don't have to take my word for it here. Here now is this week's guest road tester, Tamara Morin. So what did you think when we pulled it out of the garage this morning and you got your eyes on it for the first time?
It was a little deceptive to me because looking at it for the first time, I thought it was pretty bulky. You know, I thought it was more than what I was reading about.
Right.
But on it, totally different experience.
Right.
I thoroughly enjoyed the riding position. You're tucked right into this bike and it makes it so maneuverable.
Yeah. So you were a little nervous at first? It looked a bit heavy, a bit big for you? Yeah.
But even reading 476, I believe is what the literature said, it doesn't even feel heavy. It doesn't feel heavy at all. My feet were firmly planted on the ground. Very easy to handle.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. You threw a leg over, you fired it up. What did you think of the motor? For me, my big surprise was, wow, it's smooth.
Smooth, peppy. It had a lot of grip right off. On the first gear, it already wants to go.
Right.
So it was really, really peppy right off the top, and then smooth shifting right through all the gears.
Yeah.
You can feel them go into every gear. You know where you're going. It doesn't have the gear shift indicator, but it does have the neutral finder.
Right.
So at least you know where you are there.
How did you like the sound? Because you sounded pretty nice flying away from us on the camera.
I loved it, actually. It's got even though it's inline 4, throatier sound that I'm used to hearing on the inline 4 is a little higher. It does rev a little high, but the sound out of the back end was good.
Transmission, it's a brand new bike. What was the transmission like?
It picks up really well. Every time you're shifting your gears, you had power in every gear. Again, the shorter ratios at the beginning give it a lot more, even a kind of torquey kind of feel to it, but gets you going really quick.
What about the handling of the bike?
Again, I think that the center of gravity is very low on this bike, so it actually handled really well, very nimble, considering, again, the imposing size. When I first walked up to it, this beefy area, it really did handle really well. Corners were good, everything was fast and easy. Nice.
So what about the riding position? I found that the foot pegs were just a little higher than I expected, but everything else was good for me. But what about you?
Actually, to your point, the pegs are a little higher. I could feel them on the back of my legs at some points if I was standing and not paying any particular attention. But definitely the firm foot position, I felt comfortable on it. I was in a great riding position, very comfortable. The split seat will give solo or passenger accommodation well. Everyone's comfortable. You have your hand grips as well. So I think this riding position is the best of all worlds.
There's some really interesting cast pieces on here, but everything is sort of a matte black. What did you think of the fit and finish, the paint, the fasteners, just the overall production finish?
Well, I'm used to the naked bike, so I'm not sure about the half fairing that they've got here. Maybe it's just me, but other than that, everything else is it's a great looking bike.
Yeah. Who do you think the bike will appeal to? Who would you suggest take a look at this?
Well, given that it's an 800, in the literature I was reading, which really hit home with me, was that there's a lot of push towards 600 to 1000s when you're coming off your 125, 250. Your skills grow, you're getting confident, you want to go to the larger bikes. 800s don't normally come to mind as quickly, as well, there haven't been many options.
Right.
I think this is a great niche category for any rider who's going up,
Right, okay.
building their confidence level. They want a little more power. They still like the maneuverability of having that nimble action. I think that's a key market.
What would you say was the lasting impression, the one thing that sort of really stands out in your mind about this bike?
Power versus size. I think this bike has it all. When you talk about getting a sporty bike that's a little massive, but still nimble, maneuverable, and powerful.
You really like the 800, eh?
I love 800.
That's your favorite number. Good job.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mara.